Hello everyone, Mass Effect 3. If I don't say too big of a mistake, let's say, I think it was a very weighted game back in the day to find out how the trilogy is ending and how the story is ending of Shepard and the Reapers. And I believe most people don't had any problem with the game and everyone liked it. But the ending was not exactly, I think, what was expected. So there was some contradiction in the game in some way, but I believe it was still a very good ending game. And in the game you felt it very well that this is a desperate fight against the Reapers. And the game itself had a very dark vibe, let's say. And also the music was very playing on that feeling during the game.
How bad is it?
Bad. We just lost contact with two of our deep space outposts. There's something massive on long-range scanners.
Is this what Shepard warned us about?
I'd stake my life on it.
How long do we have?
Not long. I sent word. The fleet's immobilizing.
God help us all.
So we have the Reapers as enemy during the game, but they are too strong, obviously, so actually you don't really fight them against too much during the entire game. You see them in the beginning and in some mission they playing a minor role, let's say, and that's it. Otherwise you playing the final part of the game against them. And what you do really during the game is fight against Cerberus, which is kind of weird because during the first two games they were a smaller organization only, and here suddenly they have spaceships and huge armies as well. So what's new in the final game? As a start on the galaxy map, we again exploring like in the second game, let's say, but when we scan the system we can find fuel only, and on the planets we can find different war assets or missions, and no mini cipher game like in the first two games, so it's completely out. There is like an automatic scanning and that's it. And on the planet you can collect war assets, which is helping you in the final mission, and that's all. The gunplay or the fight system I think is the best in this game, so it feels very fluid compared to especially compared to the first game. If I compare it to the second game, it's very similar. Maybe the movement and how easy to get in and out of the cover, it's more fluid even compared to that. They a little bit improved how the weapons is used, for example, so you can add different ammunitions during the match, which is helping you to fight different type of enemies. I mean, not different type, but what type of boost they have, barrier or armor and so on. They kind of brought back the weapon modification, very similar to the first game, but I think much more improved and better way. so everyone can modify the weapons the way they prefer to use it. The character improvement is again similar to the first game, but also if I compare the skills to the second game, it's more variety you can choose from during the game. So it's more customizable compared to the first and second game. So the DLCs for the third game are good because they are adding a lot of value, not, I wouldn't say just fully to the game, but full to the universe itself. Because the Leviathan one, for example, explaining the Reaper's backstory. And I think it's a very important one to understand what like happened, let's say, or how they became the Reapers. The From Ashes DLC is bringing a Protean teammate or squad mate, and I think it's also very good because, or not just good, but surprising in some way, because you get to know the Protean like thinking and culture a little bit more, and I think in that meaning it's very important one.
I never thought our empire would fall. It won't.
The Omega DLC is technically a big side quest and gives you some war assets, and that's it. It's a good one, but a very long one, and not exactly adding too much to the universe itself. It's just a little bit helping you in the third game to complete it. And the Citadel DLC, there is two parts of it. One part is a mansion, let's say, and a house party. The other one is a little bit of like fighting side quest, which is connected to the second game. For me, the most favorite part here was the little bit of memorial speech about Thane, because I like that character.
Thane touched each of our lives in different ways.
And there is a group photo also, which is depending on which characters survive the second game and what's your relationship with them. But for me, the Leviathan and From Ashes was the best DLC here. So the game, I think this is the best looking, obviously. Even compared to the second game, it looks way better. The cutscenes, the in-game cinematics, let's say, with the engine, and generally the characters, especially for Miliara and Javik, looks very good. And personally, I could watch these for hours. I mean, any kind of movie or series or whatever. So I still think it's a missed opportunity to not do anything with it. And there is some space fight scene during the game, which is also looking very good. And even the flight cutscene when you go for the mission or things like that, it's very good looking. And I understand that they wanted to change it for the Andromeda to have a like better option graphically, let's say. But I still think this engine was very good for what they used for it, or what options it had to do specific things with it. And comparing it with the first game to this one, there is a huge improvement and like appealing story-wise and lore-wise, so I think that was the most significant part of the first game, at least for me. And in the third game, finally it visually also as good as it should be, I think, or could be. So I don't really see it that there is a reason to complain in any way because of the graphics and how it looks even nowadays. Of course, comparing to newer engines, it could be way better. But I think this engine is still awesome for this, because the visual it's very good. So for example, on the Citadel there was the club, and visually it looked very good. And there was some dance scene again there. Interestingly, there was, I find the Nasari and the human there. Maybe other races could be danced with, I'm not sure. So the team, I think, did what they could in this game with the engine. Even the Citadel DLC looked very nice in the club and outside as you walked in the alley and between the locations in that DLC. I think this game was overall very good. Not just the game, but as a trilogy. And the development from the first game to the third game is just, I think, very nice. And I kind of miss it that nowadays there are no games like that, or not too much. And I think I can see it in everyone's name that we are curious what the fourth Mass Effect is going to look like, how it's going to continue the story, and who will be the main character. One of my favorite scenes was when Liara was coming to the captain's quarter and recording the message for the future if they don't survive the fight. Which I think was kind of a smart scene to make, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people ask the question why they don't do what the Proteans did. And this is it.
What's this?
A record of the galaxy. Information on the Reapers, relays, different cultures, and blueprints of the Crucible. But there's one entry I wanted your opinion on.
Which one?
Your own. I'd be honored to have your input. How would you like history to remember you?
$50,000 years is a long time for a computer to sit around.
Please, I was an archaeologist. I know what I'm doing. I'm encasing these records in time capsules and seeding copies on multiple planets. And while it's not foolproof, the VI I'm installing has every translation and linguistics program I could find.
So it's an information guide like Vigil on Ilos?
Yes, I've been preparing it for some time.
And it will be a privilege to guide the future discoverers of these records. Have you decided what you would like Dr. Tassoni to write in your entry, Commander?
You know me well enough to fill in the blanks, Liara.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'd like it to be your call.
Well, I'll say Commander Shepard was born on Mindoir, but never let what happened there define him. Shepard could handle any weapon in the galaxy. The Alliance never saw a deadlier soldier. He was a soldier and a leader, one who made peace where he could. And it was a privilege to know him.
Careful, this doesn't sound like a diary.
I can't help myself. You're a good friend, Shepard.
You've been there for me too, Liara.
No, I haven't. I wish I could have joined you back on Ilium.
You made up for it.
Well, I suppose I did just write your name in the stars.
About the squad mates,
Shepard.
there was a lot of recurring character.
Still, good to have Morden back. The bad guys shouldn't get the monopoly on mad scientists.
Talizora Vast Normandy, reporting for duty.
Hackett ordered us to come. Said you'd know what was going on.
I do.
For me, the most, let's say, touching was the death of Stain.
I'm afraid I won't be joining you again.
You've done more than enough, Thane.
That assassin should be embarrassed. A terminally ill Drow managed to stop him from reaching his target.
I'll pass the word along.
There's something I must do before it gets worse. I must... Kalahira, mistress of inscrutable depths, I ask forgiveness. Kalahira, whose waves wear down stone and sand.
Kalahira, wash the sins from this one and set him on the distant shore of the infinite spirit.
Goliath, you speak as the priests do. You have been spending time with them.
I brought a prayer book. Commander, would you care to join me? Kalahira, this one's heart is pure, but beset by wickedness and contention.
Guide this one to where the traveler never tires, the lover never leaves, the hungry never starve. Guide this one, Kalahira, and he will be a companion to you as he was to me. Kolyat? There's something I don't understand. His last moments were those of a hero. Why pray for salvation?
The prayer was not for him, Commander. He has already asked forgiveness for the lives he has taken. His wish was for you.
Goodbye, Thane. You won't be alone long.
But about the squad itself fully, some character is joining for only 1 or 2 missions, but the more permanent ones are Garrus, Edie, Tali, Liara, Javik, James and Ashley. And Garrus had a very good character development during the free game, and now he's a more complete one in my opinion. Edie finally got a body, so you can take her on missions with you. For me, the funny part with her is that the actress who gave her the voice was playing the Caprica 6 in Battlestar Galactica, so Asylum, and here she played a robot, so for me it was quite funny. Tali also had a very good development during the free game, and probably I could have do certain things with her differently again, but still there is some decision but I cannot really change how I do it, so But I'm still curious more about the Quarians to know more, because I think still there is a lot of option to discover about them and that we don't know. And Tali and Liara has this in common, that in the first game they were a little bit more childish or more children-ish, and now they are more like an adult. And for me it was more visible with Liara, because the first game she was really like a teenager, and here like a complete adult. Still has some childish qualities, let's say, but her entire behavior and the way she do certain things, it's completely different comparing to the first game. So I think she had the best character development over the games. Javik was a very good addition to the game, because I believe during the first 2 games we were kind of asking what the Proteans look like, or how they could talk, what was their thinking culture whatsoever, and thanks to Jovic we have the answer for that. He feels weird enough, but good enough. So personally I liked his character. It was a very smart addition as a choice for the game. James, he's the new canon fodder character, let's say, but for me he's more interesting than Caden or Jacob in the first or second game. So for me he's the better of them. Ashley, however, in the second game she was just having some episode scenes, let's say, and that's it. And here she's joining back the crew for some hospital time. And during the game her motive or reaction is kind of understandable, but also weird in some way. So for me it was a little bit of not that clear that I like her as much as in the first game, but overall it was a good thing to see her again in the crew. I think the scene when we're going back to the Sol system is technically what we were for in the free game, and personally it's one of my favorite sci-fi scene when the fleet start fighting against the Reapers.
Alliance fleet reporting. Turian fleet reporting. Asari fleets reporting.
Quarian fleets accounted for and ready.
Geth fleet reporting. All fleets reporting in, Commander. Ready to engage on your command.
My signal. Fire!
Roger that. All fighters on me.
Attack!
Acknowledge.
Breaking off. Preparing for descent.
So here we are, the ending. And to be honest, I think the ending is completely, I mean, should be handled separately from the game, because I'm pretty sure that completely different than what most people expected back in the day. And since there is free solution, it's completely up to the player based on the playthrough and his or her like opinion what should be the best solution for this problem that the game is presented to us, let's say. And the reason it's a little bit like difficult or hard to accept, let's say, if we think about what we waited for in this free game, is that the ending is kind of, for me at least, similar to the ending of Lost, for example, where also it was not fully explained and it was left to the like imagination of the viewers how they understand the ending. And I'm pretty sure it's something similar here what happened, and that's why they never give us a definitive finish. Of course it will be bring some let's say future problem for Mass Effect 4, because we will see what's the official ending when we start the game, when it will be released. And I just really hope that it's going to live up the expectation of everyone, the game. And here, yeah, it's very difficult, because yeah, the left side is controlling the Reapers. It's, I don't know, it's kind of a weird ending in some way. The middle one is the synthesis, and you like meld together the synthetics and the organics. And the right side is when you destroy the Reapers and all synthetic. And it's very difficult, because all ending has a very good basis to be a reasonable ending, but all is conflicting in the other way. So it's very difficult, in my opinion, if someone starts to really think about all three at the same time. And it's not easy to find the conclusion what's the best one, because all is very difficult to accept in some way, in my opinion. And I remember back in the day, it took me, I don't know, maybe half an hour to decide, because it's very tricky. Well, honestly, based on my playthrough, because it was mostly a Paragon one I did originally, it's definitely the right side to destroy the Reapers, but it's also destroying the gas, which turned in the end to help the Koreans, and all other synthetics will die. So it's a little bit tricky in that meaning, because it's not that clear that that's the right decision, in my opinion. The left side, if I think about it more, it means you control the Reapers, which is I think it's not exactly solved too much, because the Reapers still exist. The problem probably still exists. Of course, you decide probably about the harvest and other stuff, but still it's a little bit conflicting to me, at least. Maybe for some people that was the most straightforward decision, maybe. I'm not sure. The middle one, I don't know. Even now, and even back in the day when I played it first, didn't felt like this is a good decision or a good ending, because I don't see how, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, here it comes, the conflict. was the explanation the Catalyst gave us, that it helps the organics to understand the synthetics and the synthetics understand the organics. And it kind of means that now the two sides is more closer to each other, let's say on a common ground, and understanding much better each other. And yeah, in that meaning, it has a very good reason to choose it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like everyone is becoming synthetic, and every synthetic becomes organic at the same time. So it's a little bit weird also to not exactly justify it, but to accept this ending. It's very difficult. And I remember we can decide to shoot the catalyst. Honestly, I don't remember what it does, because it was a long time ago and I didn't recheck it. But I remember I maybe chose the right side back in the day, but I'm not 100% sure. It was either the right side or the left side. And honestly, it's a huge conflict which one is the best solution for this problem. It's really not easy, let's say, in some way. And that's why I'm curious when they release Mass Effect 4 to see which is the official ending, how the story will continue. Because it's going to be a very different galaxy we will see Mass Effect 4, I believe. Yeah. So this was the Mass Effect trilogy. I think it's still one of the best sci-fi game and game trilogy on the market. And I will get the Andromeda as soon as I get. I never played it before, so it's going to be a from zero experience, because I'm curious what was the hate about it back in the day. And of course, I will be curious about what will be the starting point of Mass Effect 4 and which ending was the official one, because it's going to clear out some question, I believe. And I definitely going to miss some of the characters, because I really doubt that we will see everyone or either most of them. So I'm looking forward for the next episode, and I really hope it's going to be a good game in story-wise and lore-wise and mechanic-wise. So go Bioware, go, do it. Thanks for watching the videos, and see you in the next ones.
Hack it out.